Now here's Ted with the Volvo 940 Turbo.
Never a company to rush into things, Volvo has redesigned its successful 7 Series and gone upscale. Their newest offering is the 940, which is different from the 740 and 760, but still unmistakably Volvo. In fact, aside from several refinements and a new engine, the big difference between the 9 and 7 Series is in the back-end treatment. Volvo has redone the taillights and trunk deck in the Mercedes-Benz 300 mold, and the result is a much more streamlined-looking car. Drag coefficient has been improved by 10%, and the trunk is slightly larger as well, 471 liters of cargo space. 2 different engines are available with the 940. Volvo's trusty B23 unit, with twin camshafts and 4 valves per cylinder, and an 8-valve turbocharged version, which is what we tested this time around. This engine also displaces 2.3 liters and is intercooled and fuel-injected, of course, and develops 162 horsepower at 4,800 RPM. Only one transmission is available, a 4-speed automatic with overdrive 4th gear. The price tag for our 940 Turbo, which is equipped with leather upholstery, is $40,406. Although a 6-cylinder engine is available in Europe, North Americans will have to satisfy themselves with 4 cylinders until at least the 1992 model year. Needless to say, the 940 has the usual safety features, such as anti-locking brakes, airbags, child safety locks, 3-point seat belts on all seats, including the rear center, and an interesting little item in the form of an optional rear center console that opens up into a storage compartment. Dashboard controls and instrumentation are exemplary, with the usual Volvo touches, such as this windshield-mounted clip for parking passes and a coin tray above the stereo. Speaking of which, I see they've put in a stereo system I can actually understand. Well done. The 940 Turbo also has a limited slip differential as standard equipment and an electronically activated engine brake that helps to slow the vehicle while it's coasting downhill. Another change, and a much needed one in my opinion, is more headroom. Volvo has redesigned the seating platform on the 940 and managed to increase headroom by 20 millimeters. This was a serious problem with the 7 Series, and I'm glad Volvo has done something about it. I've had the chance to put the new 940 through its paces both on the street and on a test track, and this car is a marvel. Quiet, very comfortable, powerful, and blessed with plenty of peripheral visibility. Considering its size and weight, this is a very agile automobile with excellent mid-range power and the shortest turning radius in the business. Volvo has always managed to make its cars performance-oriented in a quiet, subtle kind of way, and the 940 continues that tradition. Yes, it will reach a top speed of 220 kilometers an hour and has above-average performance abilities, but is also very safe and extremely well constructed. Volvo has this particular price niche almost to itself. Some competition might come from the Saab 9000 CD, the Mazda 929, Toyota Cressida, Mercedes 190e, the new Acura Legend sedan, and maybe even the Audi 100 and 200. Business as usual for Volvo, Tony.
Well, I love Volvos, and the styling redesign is very successful. The interior, of course, to me, couldn't be better. It's a very good motor, although it's one we've seen before. It's a very practical car. I can't quite figure out why they didn't redesign the front at the same time as the back, but we can't have everything, I guess.
Well, Volvo will take their time about everything. I can't understand why they've got a 6-cylinder engine available for the Europeans, yet we won't see one until 1992. I mean, we've driven that particular model with that engine, and it's a beautiful car. They should have it in this one as well, at least optional, you know.
Well, that's quite true, and it's a classic 6 in the classic mold, rather like the one they used to fit into E-Type Jaguars and Aston Martins. Twin cam, 6-cylinder, straight 6.
Also adaptable to alternate fuels. They built this 6-cylinder engine specifically so that it can run on methanol if it has to. And I think that's a great idea. I know we're digressing from the 940, but it's essentially the same car with a slightly different engine.
Well, I agree. There will be a little weight. I don't think the performance will be that different
no.
between the 4-cylinder turbo and the new 6. I guess I'd probably wait for the 6. I love engines of that configuration. The smoothness is unequaled, as we found out with BMWs and Mercedes.
It always amazes me how much power Volvo get out of this engine. This engine, its basic design goes back 30 years minimum, but yet it remains a powerful, versatile engine. I'm always very impressed with it.
It's pretty well unburstable. It's a very good engine. Lots of other parts of the car. Volvo continually redefines their cars. They look at them and they decide which market they're aiming at and so forth. They move up scale and so on, move to more sporty drivers, and they seem to hit the mark pretty well every time.
Yeah, they manage to get performance, and I mean, this is a very safe and practical car. Anybody with a family would appreciate this car. But if you want to put your foot in it and throw it around some corners, it'll do very, very well.
You can do it. I know. I took a course, at the Volvo driver training school, which is run by a bunch of completely crazy Swedish rally drivers. And these people throw these 7 Series cars like you wouldn't believe. I mean,
now, there's a thought. Maybe people that buy Volvo should take the course.
I think
I mean,
so,
why
yeah.
not?
They'd appreciate the cars more. I know I did, because these were old 7 Series cars, the old razor-edged one, before they cleaned up. Can you explain why they didn't do a new front end on this as well as a back one? No.
To paraphrase Orson Welles, they restyled no car before its time. They should have done it all at the same time. I agree with you.
They did the front a year or two ago.
Very conservative company.
Right.
Anyway, red light, green light. Not much to complain about here, really. The only thing we don't like is that you can't get a manual transmission with this car, which is kind of a shame. We like everything else. We like the performance, we love the safety features, and we love the fact that it has more headroom than it used to. As far as driving dollar value goes, got to have a full tank.
We'll be back with Auto Info. Stay with us.